The way that it's me in my Hawaiian shirt against the world, and I mean, I need her because I'm so confused by this plotline in Criminal Minds Evolution Season 4, Criminal Minds Overall Season 18. I say those words way too fast. What is going on with Voit? Is he faking it? Is he not faking it? How is the lawyer involved? And where the hell is he? And who is the disciple? Who is this disciple that we will meet at the end of the season? I mean, given that this is a Voit-centric season again, and given that the disciple is the last episode of the season, for sure it's Voit's disciple. Who is Voight's disciple? Because I know that some of you probably are thinking, oh, the lawyer, right? The lawyer was doing his bidding by the end of last season. The lawyer is still out there. He was in contact with Voight minions. Surely the lawyer is a disciple. Is he? Because the lawyer, apparently, is the one who sent the guys to attack Voight in prison. I will explore all of that. Could it possibly be that there are two forces at play in Criminal Minds Evolution, the plot revolving around Voit? Could there be a voice? Could there be a force pro-Voit and a force against Voit? Is the lawyer trying to take over the network from Voit? Is the disciple a loyal Voit minion who is fighting against the lawyer? Is there a war in the backstage of the Voit criminal network? Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel of Delusional Theories. Today we are going to delve into some delusional theories. Finally, guys, I have been so sane. I have been way too sane with The Handmaid's Tale, with Criminal Minds. I'm too sane. We have to delve back into delusional territory, and today we're delving back into incredibly delusional territory. I'm going to be exploring a few theories for the current Criminal Minds Evolution season that is airing at the moment. I'm going to be doing weird movements with my shoulder because I've just been doing yard work and my back is hurting, okay? I have no muscles in my back. I'm building them with yard work, apparently. And swimming lessons. But yeah, in this video I'm going to explore everything that has been going on with Voit and his network in the current season, season 18, and all the questions that we still have that are unanswered, unanswered to us, unanswered to the VAU, unanswered to everyone but the writers. I'm going to be exploring how these questions could be answered, how these things could make sense, and what we can expect maybe for the end of the season and the resolution, potentially not really resolution, of this Voit arc in the show. So what I did for this video was rewatch the season, okay? And I took notes about specific points during the season that tickled my brain, and I'm going to explore them with you and at some point, just spit out some theories. And the first point, you guys are going to be gooped and gagged. I don't know if you noticed this, but the first point I noticed was in the recap. Yes, I watched the recap on the first episode. In the recap, why would they include the recap of someone, I think it was Luke, questioning, is it weird to anyone else that Voit wants to be in general population? Because my expectation for Voight's wanting to be in like a minimum security prison with, a TV, what did he have? A fan, was that he was going to try to escape, right? He was going to have some plot to escape prison and not even do his full sentence. But now I'm thinking, was he trying to escape? Or was that a bigger plot at play? Was there a bigger plan at play? Has Voit been preparing for the possibility of him being arrested all along? This is the beginning plot point of many of my theories for this video, and just know that one of them is going to go completely out there, and this is an important point for it. And it is with Voight's stay at prison that the questions start coming up with no answers, because as we have learned during this season of Criminal Minds Evolution, Voit was attacked in the laundry room by two men. One of them had a connection to Voight's lawyer, Vinny. So Vinny potentially looks like he is behind the attack on Voit, which I don't know how much sense that makes. I guess he could be trying to take over his network, or he could be trying to get revenge on Voit because Voit is now in prison and can't fulfill his promise to kill Vinny's wife. Yes, if you don't remember this plot point from the previous season, Voit convinced Vinny to help him with the Gold Star team shenanigans, by telling him that Voit could get one of his minions to kill his wife, to kill Vinny's wife. Vinny is a lawyer, by the way, don't forget that. So he could be trying to get back to Voit because he didn't kill his wife. He could be trying to get back to Voit to, like, I don't know, take over his network, to, take over control of his minions because his minions are incredibly loyal to Voit. A number of reasons. But so far in the show, Vinny seems to be against Voit, seems to be opposing Voit, seems to want Voit dead. However, what if, this is the delusional theory, most delusional theory is coming, what if that was the plan all along? Because Voit knew the attack was going to happen. And I know what you're saying. Girl, he's a psychopath. Paranoid. He overthinks everything. He probably was preparing for an attack at some point, even if he didn't think it was going to happen. However, what if the attack was planned? What if the attack was on purpose? I mean, it doesn't seem like it because we see the scene and it seems like he was really surprised and he wasn't expecting these people to attack him. But what if it was on purpose? What if the point was always to get Voit out of there through an attack, through a stay at the hospital, but for some reason they took it too far and he got into a coma? So the plan kind of foiled there. Number one, what if the plan all along was to get Voit into a hospital? Number two, what if the plan all along was to get him in a coma? This is so completely delusional. I know, guys, just stick with me for a second because we've all been doubting the doctor, right? The doctor that is with him and is like treating him every day and believes him completely as a person. What if the plan all along was to get Voit out of there, to get him in hospital and get him in a coma, to give his minions time to enact his plan, his revenge plan on the VAU? Because if Voit truly is the person on the video, he's been planning this shit for a long ass time. And he has enough control over his minions to know that they will do what he wants them to do. So what if the plan all along was for him to be in this situation, to be able to play with a BAU like this? Now, this will only work if the doctor really is on his side. And this is my most delusional theory. It was planned all along. He was meant to be in a coma all along. He was meant to be there playing with the BAU all along. Most delusional theory. I don't think this is going to happen, but it crossed my mind. Okay? And I needed to tell you. But I also think that it could have been an expected attack because there has to be a reason for Voit to be prepared for an attack. It's not just that he was prepared for an attack by having a shank. It's that he was prepared for an attack by having a shank in the laundry room where he was eventually attacked. So what if he was expecting the attack? What if he had planned the attack but didn't plan for it to go as hardcore as it went? Because maybe he set up the plan before he went to jail, right? And he was planning to be attacked so that he could be taken to the hospital and escape from there. Maybe this was another thing that the lawyer was going to do for him to help Voit with, attack him in prison so that he can escape. And this is his escape plan from general population. However, for whatever reason, the lawyer turned on Voit and actually sent a proper attack to him that he barely survived because he is Voit and he will survive anything. And that's why he's in a coma, because even though the attack was planned, it wasn't planned to be that serious and he wasn't planned to be that hurt. However, if the lawyer, Vinny, is the only member of Voigt's network that is disobeying him and sent an attack that was properly serious, maybe that's why the other minions are still doing everything, because they are still following Voigt's orders for his plan of escape when he's in prison. Maybe that's why everything else is still happening, because Vinny is the only one that went rogue out of Voigt's network, is the only one that defied him, and everyone else is still doing everything as planned. Maybe they don't even know that he's in the hospital. I would find that very strange. But if they knew he was in a hospital, would they still do all of this? So this is my current most believable theory. The attack was planned, but it wasn't planned to be this bad. Voit had planned to go to the hospital, but not to be in a coma, so the plans are foiled, but the minions don't know, so they are doing everything according to a plan. And potentially on the outside, apart from Vinny the lawyer, there's another person in Voigt's network who is kind of guiding the minions, the disciple. He's guiding them while Voit is away. Now, let's park this for a second and go back to another thing that is driving me insane, okay? And this has to do with the question of whether or not Voit is faking it. Because the thing is, if he is faking it, he can't fake medical records. He can't fake, brain activity in areas of the brain where he shouldn't have activity. I don't know that a psychopath can fake well enough to activate the part of his brain that, deals with empathy. So, if he is faking it, he has to have help. If he is faking it, the doctor has to be helping him. But there is the option that he isn't faking it, and that he truly lost his memory, that his personality was never really that of a psychopath, and that there's another explanation for all of his actions. Because if a person was not capable of feeling empathy before, are they capable of feeling empathy now without their emotions? Maybe. One very interesting thing that comes out of this battery of tests that Voit is put through is the fact that he has a lot of scarring on his brain. And they compare it to the brain of a jock, like a person who is, head first into a football field or a rugby field or whatever they call it. And that he shouldn't have all of these lesions if he had led a normal life like we thought he had. So this is an unanswered question that everyone just kind of brushes through. They mention it once and then never again. But apparently Voit has lesions in his brain from a lot of beatings, concussions, whatever it is, over the years. They say that some of them go back many, many years. And I was thinking, surely this was while he was in the care of his uncle who abused him since he was a child, okay? I thought, yeah, he has lesions in his brain because he was beaten and abused by his uncle. Makes sense. But then, why do they continue? Because they say some of them go back so many years, it kind of gives the feeling of they didn't stop when you go back so many years. They continued into the future, into the present. So what the hell has Voit been doing? Has he been in a fight club all these years, getting all these lesions in his brain? What the hell has he been doing, potentially doing to himself, to have all this shit in his brain? They have not answered this, and I bet you, if he is not faking it, and it's truly Voit recovering, I bet you they are going to come back to this and to be like, okay, that explains why he has so much shit in his brain. And another thing is, they don't really understand how he survived the attack. And I think they meant to explain it through the fact that he has a shank himself, that the reason why he survived wasn't because he tore off the shank that was used to stab him and then stab the others. It was because he had his own and could defend himself. But I don't know, it still gives me that suspicious feeling of he's alive because he's meant to be alive. Because maybe when Vinny ordered the attack on Voit was expecting it to be not that bad, to be okay, but then Vinny ordered an especially bad attack, but still told him, make sure he doesn't die. I don't know how much sense that makes also, because they are dead. Surely, if they get to a point where they think they might lose their lives, they will fight back, right? I mean, Vinny could have had the intention to send them there to attack Voit, and knowing that Voit would kill them and not tell those two guys, because why would Vinny tell them? He wants them to do the job. Another theory that I might have is that Voit knew about the attack through the disciple. Because if Vinny betrayed Voit and sent two men to attack him, to take him out so that Vinny could take over the network, because we know that Vinny is in contact with other Voit minions, if Vinny sent those men in there to attack Voit and get him actually killed, maybe he talked about it. with other minions in the network. Maybe he tried to rile some of them up to betray their master. And maybe the disciple is the one that is like, no, I'm not gonna betray Voit. Voit is my guy. Maybe that's who warned Voit, the disciple. And then maybe he's the one who's taking orders from Voit. Because we haven't seen anything about who might have gone to visit Lee Duval at the prison. We haven't seen anything about who we might have been in contact inside the prison. So there is a chance that while he was in general population, he got into contact with someone who got into contact with the disciple, and the disciple is rallying forces to Voigt's side, to follow Voigt's instructions, Voigt's plan. Maybe this is how Voigt knew about the attack, because the disciple knew it from Vinny, and he told Voigt. So even if that explains, like, the prison shenanigans and how all that shit went down, even if that explains the dynamics of the Voit network and what these minions are doing outside, it doesn't really tell us what the actual plan is, because at some point Voit is going to escape. We see him wearing normal clothes, and I mean, it could be flashbacks, but we see him at least in prison with an orange jumpsuit trying to murder a dude on a bus. So at some point Voit is going to be back in his head. But even though we might understand what happened in the prison and the plan outside, at least part of the dynamics, we still don't know if he's faking it or not. We can't still be sure. I mean, I know there are medical tests and whatever. I'm not sure. And the thing that really pisses me off the most, the thing that I think is the biggest giveaway, is the way that Voit interacts with David. Because from the get-go, from the very beginning, Voit looks like he's playing with David the whole time. And it gets to a point where he's calling him Dave. And I'm like, think about it. You are a patient in a hospital. You lost your memory. There's a person that kind of feels like he's your dad. He doesn't remember anything. And he immediately says to Rossi, Dad? How can he not be faking it? How can he not be messing with David? Because at some point, he gets cozy and starts calling him Dave. And I mean, if I was an amnesiac patient in a hospital and I saw someone that looked like my dad, I don't care how cozy we get, how much this person is helping me. This person is not my dad. And he's told me that repeatedly. And I am handcuffed. And I have all of these agents coming talking to me all the time. I mean, Voit, you have a big brain. Haven't you figured it out yet? He takes so long to figure it out. And I just... How did the memory of Dave come back so quickly? And how did he associate it with his dad? He has to be playing him, because how did you get so cozy up with David that you start calling him Dave? It just completely feels like he's teasing him. And another thing that isn't addressed, and either I'm amnesiac myself, or I don't remember Voit ever being in a big fire. Was Voit ever in a big fire? Where? Because he mentions nightmares, right? He has nightmares. We even see one of his nightmares where Rossi is wearing the white mask. He has nightmares, and one of the nightmares he had was of him in a fire that is trying to rescue the people in the fire, and he can't. What was this? When was this? Did we see this fire? Am I literally an amnesiac and don't remember this fire? Because it's another thing that they mentioned once and then never again. And in my mind I'm thinking, is he like getting memories back that he had either forgotten or blocked when he was actually Voit, and now he's remembering certain things that are like, I don't know, creating a new personality or something? This feels so goddamn weird. At some point, I'm still expecting them to pull out a DAD, like, plotline. Not DAD, DPD. Dissociative personality disorder. And I mean, all of this medical information we are getting from one doctor. One person. It's always the same person. It's always the same doctor who tells us everything about Voit, who does the tests, who runs everything. And there's a moment in the last episode, I think, where they're running that Rorschach test where he gets the memory of the drill and his wife and whatever. And the doctor, like, they're planning to do another Rorschach test. And the doctor tells Voit, I'm worried what might happen if we do it again. And it was so suspicious. To me, it felt like she was telling him, they are going to figure it out if you do it again. But then he's like, what if you do it, to the doctor? And she's like, okay. As if she could have more control over his reaction if she's the one doing the test. Doesn't it sound suspicious? It sounds to me. And another thing, I've already talked about the suicide attempt and why I think it was fake. Watch my previous review. But my last thing that I want to point out is, who the hell sent the video? Who sent the video? Is it the unsub that is wearing the mask? Because we kind of know it's implied because JJ makes a deduction, and usually when they make these deductions, they're kind of correct. It's implied that it is Voit. So at this point, we are assuming the man in the video is Voit, but someone had to send it. The disciple? It has to be, right? Vinny wouldn't send it. He doesn't even have access to, like, what gives him access to the network because he left everything behind when he ran away. So it has to be the disciple. And he's planning something because remember the reaction that Voit had when they showed him the video? He was asking them questions. What happened to the little girl? Is it my daughter? He was trying to ascertain if they know what's going on, if they know that person, because it gives me the feeling that if they know who the little girl is, they can get to where it was filmed, who is filming it, and all that shenanigans. So I feel like, and I mean, if Voit is the one in the video wearing the mask, who else would he trust? He wouldn't just go to a random minion and have them film him. He would go to his most trusted minion, the disciple. It feels like Voit, he's the disciple's mentor. And maybe, oh my god, can you imagine if this is the disciple's like final test? If he can carry out Voit's plan and to some point or at some point manage to free Voit, and they run together into the sunset to be serial killers together. I really hope the disciple is not a woman. I will be so pissed if the disciple is a woman. I mean, Voit must have gotten fan mail, right? He must have gotten fan mail at some point. Is it? No, I refuse to believe that. It has to be someone in his network. It's another messed up serial killer. It is not a woman. Refused. I cannot believe that idea crossed my mind. I'm so sorry for that. I'm so sorry for suggesting that. But yeah, these are my conclusions for everything we know so far about Voit in season 18. I think the attack was planned, but not to that extent. I think Vinny has gone rogue and is trying to do some bullshit with Voit's network, and I think the disciple is pro-Voit and enacting his plan and at some point planning to break him out of jail. At this point, the hospital. I still think that Voit is faking it to some extent. I would actually appreciate it and enjoy it very much if the doctor is on Voit's side. Can you imagine if the doctor is the disciple? Because I mean, they're giving her so much time on the show. Usually when a character has this much time on the show, they're gonna have something impactful happen to them. Either it's gonna get to a point where Voit gets his memories back and kills her, or we realize that she was helping him all along. Can you imagine if she's the disciple? But anyway, I still think he could be faking it with the help of the doctor, otherwise he can't fake it at all, and he's going to slowly recover his memories and get to a point where he can actually help Rossi with the network minion disciple bullshit, and afterward he will be sent to jail and hopefully be broken out of jail while en route to it, which is the scene we see of him with a orange jumpsuit. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to support me and support the work that I do here, you can give me a like, comment, subscribe, join my Patreon. I'm doing kind of cool reviews right now. I just finished reviewing Your Friends and Neighbors. I just reviewed the whole season of Sirens. I'm going to go into a few other seasons of television that just drop in a day and binge them and review them. Sirens, you guys, even if you don't join the Patreon, go watch Sirens. It's amazing. I was bawling by the end. Anyway, you can also join my YouTube membership, and yeah, I have a video coming to the membership because I need to start doing something with it. But yeah, I will see you maybe tomorrow. I'm doing a different kind of video and a different kind of editing style, trying something new, and it might drop tomorrow, maybe, potentially, maybe. Let's see. But yeah, I'll see you then, or otherwise Thursday with Criminal Minds episode 5. Bye, guys.